Well, happy Friday. Oh, I've had the most magical week. I'm talking a little bit slower because I've been resting. I've been in the Coromandel. Actually, I wasn't doing a lot of resting. I was in the Coromandel actually running a retreat, but as part of the gloriousness of that, I got to rest with my fellow attendees, doing a lot of lying around and resting and talking and going really deep with people about, what they want and really getting stuck into chewy stuff. I love chewy stuff. And what I really loved is being in a space with people who are really, who are brave and who are prepared to be vulnerable. And I think vulnerability is extraordinary because, everyone's wandering around pretending they fucking know what they're doing and no one really does. And everyone's running around pretending that they've got this and everything's great. And I don't believe it. I kind of have a belief that all humans are fucked. We're all about fucked. Being a human is a very fucked up thing to be, actually. And it's a very big experience, right? And the idea of being a human, I think being a human's hard, and I think it's crazy. And some of the stuff we go through, like emotionally and physically and just kind of bouncing around, it's like, I often say to people, what's hard for you? And some people hate that question and they're like, oh, nothing, fuck off. And it's like, fair enough, right? Not everyone wants to go there. But this retreat was full of beautiful people who I've had the pleasure of knowing for quite a few years. And we got to sort of hang out in a really safe space. And the experiential intimacy that happens when that's the whole what goes on tour stays on tour. So whatever happens in the room stays in the room, and people sharing stuff about how they feel and what they want and it's just beautiful. I think it's beautiful. And I think vulnerability is something that we're not very good at because we are shut down from quite a young age, that it's not okay. It's not even okay to talk about yourself or, it's like, oh, don't, dump your stuff on other people. And it's like, but I love the idea of a problem shared as a problem halved, and sharing stuff and just going, I'm just don't think I can do this, or I never feel good enough at that, or I am so scared to try this because I did it once and it failed, or I got laughed at, or I felt humiliated. And just being honest about those things where you're like, fuck no, and it's like, I like the idea of people being honest about their experiences, like in questions like, what are you ashamed of, or what's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you, or what's the thing that you feel really guilty about? Because when you have something that you feel really guilty about and you lock that up in your body and you go, oh, fuck, I'm not going to talk about that. And it just sort of sits there. I think it rots. I think you end up with these little rotten bits of energy in your body. And I think getting those out and going, oh my God, like, I've done that. And people go, oh my God, you too? And you're like, yeah, fuck. And, when you share something and you get it out into the open, like you bring it out, because when things are in the dark, they're scary, right? So when you bring it out and sort of throw it into the middle of the room and go, well, fuck, I did that. And people go, oh, yeah, I did that. I've done that. Yeah, no, I've done that. Yeah, yeah. And you go, oh my God, I'm not this horrible bad person that I thought I was. Or, you go, I really struggle with this, or I'm really fucking scared to do this. And it's like, yeah, cool. I am too. And people go, oh my God, it's not just needing. Because we have this weird vibe as humans that we think everything's just about us. We really do think we're these, that we're the only fucking people that have ever experienced something, or the only people that have ever felt something. And it's just not true. But we don't talk about it. And I think women are better at it than men. Like I know, women share, or some would say women overshare. Women love to share. Men, I notice, don't share and they don't talk about stuff. And, I get all the old stories around don't talk about feelings. But it's that, oh yeah, so, how does he feel about that? Don't know, I haven't asked him. I'm like, wow, like fuck. And, it's not I ran a group once, a group of men, and we were talking about what they needed in their worlds to become who they wanted to become. And they were like, I haven't got time because I have to be, like, I haven't got time to sit and feel sorry for myself because I've got to be this slow and steady provider. Or, that I don't have time to sit and fall apart because that's not what I do. I'm the slow, steady, win the race, provide, be strong, be sturdy. And it's like, what if you weren't? What if you weren't? And I like the idea around just questioning yourself, which is why I love journaling. So we did quite a bit of journaling on this retreat, thinking about, what are you disappointed about? What are you feeling at the moment? People are like, oh, fuck, I don't know. And then all of a sudden you start writing. When I started journaling, I used to think I had to write, dear diary, today I had a ham and cheese sandwich. And I would sort of, and this afternoon I went to my friend's house, and it was like this recount of my day instead of a kind of a gritty, like, sometimes I just write in the journal, what the fuck is that about? And then I'll bullet point a whole lot of ideas or words that are coming up around how I feel about a situation or a person or what's going on. And it really helps me to unpack it. And I think some people are scared to even write stuff down though, And I love the idea that when the actual definition of being vulnerable is to like open yourself up for hurt, like to be easily hurt or attacked. So you're literally exposing yourself. So if you were in an unsafe place, someone could have a crack at you and go, respond to that, and you'd be like, ah. And so we don't do it because we're so scared of because we don't want to get hurt. So it's about finding people that you can be safe with. Like, I love the idea of, and I often ask people this, who are your safe people? Who are your people that you could tell anything to? Who are those people that you can share? I really love Neil Donald Walsh once said at a workshop I was at, you should have no one in your life that can't handle your truth. So who are the people in your life that you can just say anything to? And one of my missions as a parent was to never be reactive, so that no matter what my kids said or did, I didn't be like, what the fuck? And I tried to be like, oh, okay, right, good, okay, and not be reactive, because I think when you explode and react, people go, oh, it's not safe to tell you things. And I love the idea of unconditional love, where there is nothing you can do that, that I won't be able, I would even not have you in my life for. And it's like, I will love you anyway. I will love you anyway is really big. So who loves you anyway? And who can you love without conditions, and without putting conditions, on people? But I think finding someone that you can say anything to should be something that everyone should it should be compulsory. I'm shoulding all over the place here, and I don't like shoulding, but having someone in your life that you can say anything to and know that they're okay, and sometimes, people say things and it's just a snapshot in time. Like, you might be like, I fucking hate my mother, or I hate my husband, or fuck this, or, and it's not actually a truth. It's just right in that moment. It's a snapshot. And so the person that you can say that to doesn't then say to you 2 weeks later, I thought you said you hated your mother. And you're like, oh, shut up. That was and need to understand it's a fucking moment in time. It's a moment in time, and it's not something that is going to be carried over. And I think friends that understand your moments in time and understand that you're a human riding down a dirt road of humanity, and there's going to be bumps, and there's going to be bits where you need to whinge, and there's going to be things you do terribly, and things, that aren't actually great, and just going, yeah, it's cool. It's all part of your messiness of being a human. Fucking love the messiness of being human. And I think from my experience working with people is you start working and then it gets messy before I always use the metaphor of a gravy dish. So you look at a gravy dish and you think, oh, it's not that bad. And then you start cleaning it and you think, oh, fucking hell. And then you just keep going. And the more you clean, the more you realize you've got to clean. That gets yuckier and it gets shittier. And you're halfway through going, why did I start this? And then at the end, it's beautiful. But that's a little bit like, I think, when you're chewing through problems, it gets worse before it gets better. And having someone that can sit with you in the worst is lovely. And having 20 people all offering the best and the worst of themselves at the same time, I've had a magnificent week. So I hope you have a magnificent weekend. Bye.